Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to quickly add local multiplayer to your game so that you can have 2 or more players. So with that said, let's jump right into this video. So as you can see here, I already have a demo scene set up. And for this tutorial, I am using a third-person controller with a fixed camera. Now, I'm not going to be showing you how to actually make the third-person controller in this video. If you're interested in learning how to do that, I do have several videos on my channel showing you how to make a third-person controller. So you can check that out if you want, and there's several videos on YouTube as well that you can check out. But let's jump into this video and make this work for 2 players. If I actually duplicate my second player with Control D, and let's just move it to the side, and I test this scene out, it won't actually work the way we want it right now. So right now, if we control one player, it basically controls both. So we can't actually control each player individually, which is what we're going to be doing in this video. Let's go ahead and actually do that. To do this, we want each player basically to make use of its own set of input actions, and the way we're going to do that is we're going to have each player have a certain ID. So our player 1 is going to have an ID of 1, and our second player is going to have an ID of 2. Now let's actually define those actions. So to do that, we want to go to project settings, and then input map. And as you can see here, we already have some default actions that we had for our first player, which is move forward, move right, move back, move left. And since we want to make use of IDs now, we do have to modify this to be something like move forward _1 for our first player. So let's go ahead and rename all these actions for our first player with _1. So these are the input actions for our first player. Now we basically want to make the same input actions for our second player. Move forward _2 for our second player. And jump _2. And now we can actually define the actions, or the actual buttons for these actions. So the move forward is going to be a joy axis, and this is what matters. So instead of device 0, which is the default, we want to change this to device 1 for our second player. And then the joypad we're going to be using is going to be the left stick up. So we want to do this for each action for our second player, making sure that we change the device number to device 1 for our second player. Just go ahead and do this for the remaining. And this is, I was putting a joy button, not a joy axis, so we want a joy axis for moving. Device 1, left stick right. And so yeah, just go ahead and do this for the remaining actions. With that now done, we have 2 individual sets of input actions for each player. Now we can just go ahead and modify the script for our player. Let's go into the player script, and we want to make use of that ID. So let's start by defining a variable for a player ID. At the top, let's do export var player ID, and by default it's going to be player 1. Let's actually make use of this variable here. And to do that, we need to modify the name of our input actions here that we're using. So right now it's using the default ones. So if we actually try to run the game right now, it would actually give us a bunch of errors. As you can see, the game lags out basically. And then as you can see in the debugger, it gives us a bunch of errors because these old input actions here, move right, don't exist anymore. Now it's move right 1, move right 2, etc. Making use of the IDs basically for each player. So let's actually make sure that we're using the right action for each player. And to do this, we are going to be using format strings. And in this case, we're going to use the modulo s formatter. So we want to do underscore because that's what we have in the input action name. And then modulo s The mod S, or modulo S, is basically a placeholder that's going to be replaced by a value we pass on to it. And to do that, outside the quotes, we do another mod, and then square brackets, and then the value we actually want to take the place of the mod S inside the square bracket. In this case, it's going to be the player ID variable that we set up earlier. So basically, we want to do the mod S and then modulo player ID in the square brackets for each remaining action that we are using for each player. That way, when the mod S gets replaced by the player ID, the input action basically ends up being move underscore right underscore 1 for our first player, and then move underscore right underscore 2 for our second player. So let's go ahead and copy this for all our remaining actions. And the important bit is the mod S, because that's what basically is what's being replaced, the mod S. But we do have to put the underscore since that's how we set it up in the name. Let's just go ahead and do this for the remaining actions, like I said. So there we go, like so. And then I believe we have a jump as well. So let's do it for our jump also. Jump underscore mod S mod player ID. That should be the last one. Now to actually have it work, let's actually set the ID for each player. So select player 1, and it should have a player ID of 1 in the inspector, and it does. Now let's select player 2, and then change the player ID in the inspector to 2. Now with that, it should actually work. So let me test it out. Let's full screen it, start game. And now I have a controller here, and as you can see, I can control my first player with my first controller, and then I have a second controller, and as you can see, I can control the second player with my controller as well, with my second controller, so each player is being controlled individually. So there you have it. Now right now, like I said, I am using a fixed camera that I have on my main level, as you can actually see here. So I have a camera here already set up, which is right here, that's fixed and just stays in place, so it doesn't really move for this example. Now if you want to have a camera actually follow around your players, then you would probably have to add a custom script so that basically it follows the player based on both player positions, but that's basically outside the scope of this video. But anyway, like I said, there you have it. It's literally that simple to add multiplayer, or at least local multiplayer, to your games. So hopefully you found this video helpful. And if you liked the video, make sure you leave a like and consider subscribing. And also, be real quick, I almost forgot, I am thinking of also doing a video on split screen. So if that's something you're interested in, then let me know in the comments. Now with that said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, have a wonderful day.